Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Wednesday, April 6, 2016. Phil and our Ra here in the Lynn-Life, 12-year-old Luce in the Jamie Body Mind, other teammates in other dimensions. All of us are subatomic to someone.
That's true.
And most of us are in the physical. There's a bald eagle circling our house. White tail,
That's
white
true.
head, huge bird. Two bald eagles circling our house. Thank you, friends.
Hello.
Upward flow. Huge challenges continue with Body-Snatchers and Channel-Grabbers, and we are working with this continual assignment of re-establishing search for truth space. What now in order to re-establish search for truth space? As always, our background intention is to do what is ours to do right now in all dimensions, to manifest the divine plan. And with that, the formally videoed portions of today's efforts begin. Bifurcating higher, all those who want to search for truth to the central axis of the search for truth pillar. All of this flung away. What do I know? I know that when we move up through these larger and larger dimensions, searching for higher concentrations of truth and integrity, unfortunately what we tend to find are children who haven't yet made enough poor choices that they become corrupt.
That's true.
We've also come across many really good people who have moved into powerful positions with the intent to make a difference in the world, and unfortunately instead become corrupt themselves.
That's true.
Power corrupts, and we have seen it play out in these related souls of Ra and Joseph and others.
That's true.
But this latest crop of overnight body snatchers seems to be again composed of Ra's and Josephs and perhaps others of their ilk.
That's true.
But they have blatantly, obviously bad intentions. Somebody who will start a fire in our house so that he can be the hero by pointing out that there's a fire in the house. That's not a person of good intentions.
No, that's something else.
Bad intentions.
That's true.
That's bad intentions. What do I know? I know that what we have here in the driver's seats of the Lynn-Life and the Jamie Body Mind are what look like, when we look at ourselves, us souls, we look like 12-year-old kids.
Skinny kids.
Skinny little kids.
Yeah, that's true.
And when other souls see us, that's what they call us. They call us kids.
Skinny kids.
And we're not corrupted by power. We're of the age of reason. We fit the profile of someone who wants to search for truth. But these disgusting presences feel free to break and enter.
That's true.
And basically say, I'm coming in and you can't stop me.
That's
and
true.
It's true that we can't stop you on the threshold, but it's also true that the law of cause and effect is real.
That's true.
Are you... who here? All of you, like, there's huge crowds of body snatchers here, like the pushing masses, the
That's
throngs.
true.
Who here is aware of the law of cause and effect? And they say, as
All
if
the
in
hands
voice,
are
voice, yes.
Yes,
And
yes.
who knows that the law of cause and effect applies in all situations?
Again, it feels like all the hands are up.
And who can therefore reach the obvious conclusion that the law of cause and effect also applies here in this situation?
No.
See, now you
they
guys don't want to
raise
acknowledge
their
that.
hand.
How odd. So, live streaming up to the videographers who are laughing. Can you hear them laughing at you, or have you not learned how to hear in higher dimensions? Possibly not. They're laughing at you.
That's true.
Show of hands. You know what might work?
What?
Let's do this. Let's split this room of body snatchers. We'll take the body snatchers who are attempting to body snatch the Jamie body mind.
Yes.
And ask that group, can they see that the body snatchers who are attempting to body snatch the Lynn-Life are having a disconnect because they acknowledge the law of cause and effect applies in all situations but not this one?
Yes.
And so now, to the body snatchers here, in this room, our own personal group of body snatchers, can you see that those body snatchers over there are having a disconnect because they acknowledge the law of cause and effect applies in all situations, but not in this situation?
I think so.
Right.
Right.
Right. So now feel, for each group of body snatchers to feel the vibration of the opposing group of body snatchers. Feel that vibration, and does that feel good or icky or
yucky?
It feels yucky. And so now hold that yucky vibration of those body snatchers over there in one hand, and now just feel the vibration of your own group.
Oh no! Oh, now there's pandemonium.
Right. It's the same.
This is the same vibration.
Same vibration. And so now you have made a huge disaster of a mess of your karmic record. And what you can do is take everybody with that body snatcher vibration, that yucky vibration, and leave. But I can see it's like rats jumping from a sinking ship. They don't want to help. They just want to get out.
Get out of there as fast as they can.
Get
They're
out.
scrambling.
Get out. The body snatchers. That's repulsive. Now, to our team, the Search for Truth team, let's bifurcate all those who really want to know what's actually going on, the central axis of the Search for Truth pillar, and all others flung away. Higher, higher, higher. Now let's screen out. We'll make a screen of that icky vibration.
Yes, of that same yucky vibration.
That same yucky vibration, and magnetize it so it picks up this vibration in ourselves.
That's true.
And clear our own community of this vibration.
And sending it to the base of thing 36.
Go help an abused child for a day. And if you help an abused child with the intention to change as little as possible, then it won't really be of benefit to you, and probably isn't of benefit to the abused child.
No.
But if you go help an abused child for a day with the intention to have that experience transform your life, it can.
That's true.
That's what we recommend. So to our Search for Truth community, our team leaders, show of hands, who can recognize that they themselves have acted in these same ways as these body snatchers have acted at some point in time? I feel as though hands are going up.
Maybe
all of them. And now hold up the hands and keep them holding up if you're aware that you've done this within the last, let's say, 6 months. Oh wow, some of them want to put their hands down, but
I think all the hands are
staying up. And now see if you can, willing to acknowledge you've done this in the last 4 months.
I think all the hands are still up.
See if you can see. Are you willing to acknowledge you've done this within the last 2 months? They're starting to get very uncomfortable, but then they can tell that the vibration isn't different.
Yeah, they can tell that it's true.
It's true.
It's just
an inconvenient reality.
That's
and
true.
So now, can you tell, are you willing to acknowledge that you've done this within the last month? And now they're getting very squirrely and they don't want to acknowledge. Many.
But I can feel that it's true.
It's true. It's true. And now, friends, feel, would you be willing to do it again today?
I can feel that it's true.
Right?
Yeah, this is true.
So we ourselves have this error seed inside of us. Right?
That's true.
Now let's intend to magnetize our hands and pull out that which gives rise to this kind of behavior, this willingness to pretend that the law of cause and effect doesn't apply right now today with what I'm doing, quote unquote, even though it applies in all situations. In other words, a willingness to fantasize that there are some moments outside the reach of karmic law.
That's true.
Which is just crazy. Can we all see that that's just straight up wishful thinking? The law of cause and effect is real. We all know that. We all acknowledge it. It applies to everyone and everything. We all acknowledge that. But not right now to me here today. That's the disconnect. It applies to us here today. To every us, every here, and every today.
If there's a me or an I to hear this, it applies to you.
Right now.
Right now, that's true.
And for the rest of eternity.
That's true.
In every moment. But now, in order to reestablish search for truth space.
Oh, it's clearer.
It's clearer, but there's still ickiness.
I feel
there's
yuckiness
still
in the
ickiness.
back.
Live streaming up. What do I know? I know that when adults decide to be icky, there isn't much that kids can do to stop them. There isn't.
That's true.
But that there is a consequence, and in the long run the children grow up, and maybe the gift in it is that they themselves are less likely to fall into that same pattern. But personally, I don't really think that that works. I think that there are too many pitfalls in the path. I think that people fall into the same error patterns as their predecessors, and that's the reality of it. We aren't going to be exempt from power corrupting. We aren't.
No, I don't think so.
That isn't going to happen. And so whoever is trying to beam in that thought is out of contact with reality.
That's true.
But now, in order to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. Now we are trying to go through a process to get to a place where we can have a sustainable, long-term search for truth effort. That's what we're trying to do. And you guys are being such incredible hazards on the course. If we can't do it, then we can't do it. Alright? But you don't get to body snatch.
No.
No, I'm not hanging around for this.
That's true. You're setting fires in our house.
You're setting fires in our house. Get out. And all of you who are saying, hey, it wasn't me that set the fire, your vibrations are identical in terms of willingness. It's a match.
That's true.
That person who set that fire isn't here anymore. I know that.
I
watched him leave.
That's
but
true.
I feel that vibration, and I can feel it in all of you.
That's true. It doesn't feel any different.
It doesn't feel any different.
Which means that you would be willing to set a fire.
If that's what it took.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Right?
If that's what it takes.
I do see our teammates, some of them seeing this and recognizing that they themselves have that vibration and looking really shocked. It's one of those moments of realization that are inconvenient but can be life-changing.
That's true.
I see Dunbar looking.
Dunbar.
If this isn't wishful thinking, Luce sees it, our Luce. He sees it.
Pick sees it.
Pick sees it. Bat sees it.
Jeff sees it.
Come on, Kosa. It's there. That vibration is there. I think
there we go.
Coming
I
around.
think she's coming around on it.
I don't know that the Phils have it. They're too young. But the seed is there.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
It's in all of us. The seed is there in all of us. And to not acknowledge it's in every one of us.
That's true.
Is to mean that we aren't being proactive about changing.
That's true.
Just acknowledge it. And then heal it for all of us.
For all of us.
And now we can maybe pulse it out of the smaller subatomic, because if it's in all of us, it's in the smaller subatomic.
That's
That's
true.
where these foundational archetypal errors come from. Find a workplace.
Find a workplace.
Find a corrupt workplace to dump it in. That isn't very hard. They're everywhere.
That's true. Not a complicated process to find them.
What do I see? I see that those people want to do the same thing that we see people on all levels of presence doing. Humanoids on Planet Crazy do this, for example. They say, well, I can't solve this problem, but the next generation will solve it, because all these beautiful children are being born now who will solve it. And that's what they were saying by saying, oh, you two, you'll grow up and be somehow immune from corruption. And that isn't how it works.
No.
It's never how it works.
That's true.
That doesn't work in any dimension. Planet Crazy, they've been saying that for thousands of years.
That's
and
true.
Each generation becomes corrupted just as the ones before it have.
That's true.
But now, in order to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do.
That's true. For thousands of years, as soon as people are just over the age where they're no longer considered children, they immediately say the next generation will be the ones to make the difference.
Right?
As soon as they're of the age where they could make
Possibly
a difference.
make a difference, they say.
The next generation
will
will be
do
the
it.
ones that make the difference.
They always say the same thing, and
That's
nothing
true.
is ever getting done. No one's stepping up. That's why we're stepping. That's why this one is stepping up
Stepping
and
up.
saying, "All right,
Nobody else is doing this.
somebody's got to do it."
That's true.
Until somebody starts doing it better, I'll do it. That "I'll do it" applies multidimensionally, because in this dimension, no one wants to live a truthful experience. They don't, and it's too painful and too confusing for the people who flirt with search for truth
That's
lives, because the ambient energy is a full-on lie. Live the lie.
That's true.
And you have to be in or out of a search for truth life. Life in the borderlands is not sustainable. In or out. And that's about all these people camped around the search for truth pillar.
That's
In or
true.
out. Now that doesn't mean that to the people living in the lie that it isn't like coming up from the sewage and getting a breath of air to share in the search for truth experience for a brief moment.
That's true.
It does help, but they aren't able to sustain it until they get out of the sewage pond.
That's true.
And here on Planet Crazy, it's just too hard.
And in these smaller levels too.
The smaller levels are harder.
Yeah. That's true.
It gets harder as
The
it gets
smaller it
smaller.
goes.
Harder, not easier.
That's true.
We can be part of creating a divine miracle for the smaller subatomic.